It's good to have World Travel Market here in Breaking Travel News.
Listen, it's great to be here. How's it all going for Jamaica at ATM?
It's going fantastic. It's our second ATM. Um, it's our third year being present in the region because it started with World Expo
Yeah.
here in Dubai, and it has allowed us to really truly begin to develop the relationships that we started with 3 years ago. Now we're expanding those relationships to include bigger partners, more direct partners that can sell the destination, package the destination, and so it's been a fantastic show so far for us.
It's so innovative to see you over here and building these relationships. How important do you think this market is for you?
It is. We have three strategic new markets in our line of sight. One is MENA, which is Middle East and North Africa. The second is India, which kind of fall in the middle of those two, and the third is Latin America. So MENA for us, is a very strategic approach, and it's strategic because there is so much connectivity around MENA. First of all, um, they are very nuanced to traveling and traveling long haul, and so those two things work perfectly. The third thing is that the level of affluence and affordability to go long haul and to take long vacations is there. So you put those three things together, you now have a market opportunity. Now what we have to be able to do is to connect the ecosystem around that opportunity to bring it to life. And that's what we've been working on over the last 2 years. We have great awareness in the marketplace. Our demand analysis through Amadeus tells us there's over 7 million demand searches, or people are searching for destinations and actually look up Jamaica with a start and end date, which means there's clear intent to travel. So we know that there is an appetite for people in the GCC region looking for Jamaica as a travel destination. So now what we have to do is to go the next mile, which is to continue to harden the airlift arrangements. Last year we announced Emirates code share with JetBlue. This year they have hardened those arrangements. So they no longer work with JetBlue as a partner. They now work with United on a code share arrangement. So now we have more access with United. But they have also added in terms of interlining and code sharing arrangements with Caribbean Airlines. They've added Air Canada. They've added Virgin, who flies to Jamaica daily out of Heathrow. Emirates also flies into Gatwick in London, which means that they can connect with British Airways into Jamaica. They fly into Toronto, which means they can connect with Air Canada, who they have a code share with. They also are about to fly into Montreal, which will also give us access to Air Canada. In the US, they fly to about 7 or 8 different states, including Miami, Orlando, New York, Newark, Chicago, Dallas, Houston. All of these gateways fly multiple times a day into Jamaica. So what it has given us is, or enabled us to do, is to provide more access to Jamaica from the GCC with Emirates. That's a fantastic partner to have because they're so huge in terms of their coverage of the GCC. They fly to all the countries in the GCC, and of course Dubai is their home gateway. So it means therefore that we can bring more traffic through this gateway. So that works perfectly. The other thing that we've done for this ATM that we believe is strategic and very good for us in terms of meeting our objectives is we have announced yesterday that for JPEX, which is our Jamaica Trade Exchange, which is our ATM in the Caribbean, we've launched a hosted by new buyer program for JPEX 2023, which is September 11 to 13. And so we have extended invitations to new wholesale buyers from the GCC to come to Jamaica for JPEX as our invited guests, to sit and have discussions with our product owners in Jamaica, and to begin to create the kind of dynamic packaging and contracted packaging that will allow them to sell the destination in a more seamless and a more compact way, so that they can allow for the traveler looking to immerse themselves into the Caribbean and of course into Jamaica specifically, to have more options available to them and to be able to pair those options with Emirates. So that's going exceedingly well. We also opened great discussions with Saudi Holidays and Saudi Airlines, who are extremely now excited to come to JPEX and to begin those discussions as well. The third and last thing that we believe is a more long-range opportunity that we've been working on is to have an airline, and hopefully Emirates will be our choice partner, but is to create an airline, an opportunity for an airline to use Jamaica as their hub for the region. So not just for the Caribbean, but also for Latin America, because they don't fly there now. And we feel that it's easy to fly into Jamaica, into Montego Bay. There's a lot of airlines that fly around the region that fly through Montego Bay that will allow them to create additional code share and or interline arrangement to move their passengers to where they want to go and back to Jamaica to board their planes to come back home. We think it's a strategic view. It requires some additional refinements to make the opportunity workable. They are looking at a longer term plan, closer to 2025, when they have received new aircrafts, when they have brought back their pilots and their crew sizing to pre-COVID levels.
Yeah.
But they're certainly excited by it. We are excited to continue to work at it with them. And we believe that in someday soon, we're going to be able to make those kinds of announcements to the world.
I mean, with all of those moves that you're doing now as well around building on the intent data that you're kind of, obviously already sharing with these partners, obviously time is going to provide even stronger kind of evidence and business case for demand.
Right.
JPEX is going to be driving up the whole kind of
Absolutely.
supply side.
Yeah.
So it really feels like you're making some good moves here.
We feel that way too. We feel that way too.
It's great to see you here.
Yeah, it's been. I would say it's been one of the best trade shows we've done in a while, simply because we've been able to really begin to connect our strategic dots around how we build and grow this marketplace. And we're still in the creep stage. We're still learning to walk around this market, but we're invested in it, and we feel that we are here for the long haul, and we're here to make sure that when we start really piling travel into Jamaica and into the region from the GCC, it's going to be meaningful.
And of course, really, MENA is a stepping stone for that other strategic market of India, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And this year is a very active year for us in India. We are hopefully going to do a private roadshow in and around Delhi and Mumbai in September. We're going to look at their big trade show, which is I think what's it called? I don't remember the name of it now, but they have a big trade show in February, which we're going to be taking a hard look at, depending on what happens with us in September. But India presents for us a real opportunity in the wedding and romance space, and also in the MICE market, which as you know is huge for us. We have a beautiful convention center in Montego Bay, and we believe we can bring the kinds of business out of India that will be reflective of making that convention center truly active year-round.
Let's turn our attention to product, and let's talk about Jamaica's product.
Yeah.
How are you starting, as you said, you're making these steps, how are you seeing your product evolving, innovating to reflect this market?
It is an interesting question. Let me, on the product side, let me start on two levels. On one level first. First, we are expanding, which is good for this, for where we are in the GCC. You may have heard before Minister Bartlett speak about our investment appetite, where we've announced the building of 20,000 more rooms in Jamaica over the next 5 years. We have a number of that 20,000, about 2,500 of those rooms already in build, which are looking to launch this year and early next year. We have another maybe 3,000 rooms almost ready to break ground, which will be ready in late 2024 into early 2025. And then there'll be a series of groundbreaking around different types of hotels across the country over the next 2 to 3 years. Now, what that does is it helps us to continue to diversify our product. One of the things we've made known to a lot of our new investors and some of our existing investors is our ambition for this market and for India. And we've asked them to research how they build into some of their new infrastructures and some of their expanded infrastructures the facilitation of the nuances of this market. For example, halal food was a big question that has been asked by a lot of our partners here. And the entertainment, the music, the
privacy,
the privacy, exactly. So we understand that there are nuances. We have said to quite a bit, if not all of our investors, that this is our new market oyster, and they understand, they accept that, and which means that they are going to be looking at their product in a way to allow for the nuancing of those products for this kind of marketplace, which is slightly different from the American market or the Canadian market or even the British market. So we've factored that into the narrative with our investors, and we expect that over time you will begin to see some more cultivation of or massaging of some of the external cultures beyond what we know typically into the Jamaican product.
And I can imagine that, alongside that relationship that you're developing and the connectivity conversation that you're having here, and obviously kind of from a buying perspective, I think you're also going to be very attractive to MENA-based investors.
Absolutely, and that's a big part of the discussions with here this week. We've sat with at least 2 major hotel chains who don't operate today in Jamaica, but we've presented the case to them in terms of what our focus is, what's our strategic objective, how we're progressing along those lines, and we have access and availability in terms of space in Jamaica for new hotels. And it's been an interesting conversation, is what I will say for now. And there'll be more to talk about in the coming months, I'm sure.
Well,
maybe by the time I see you at World Travel Awards.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. We're going to hold you to that.
Yes.
Now, another one is, I suppose, in a sense, a question around, and I'm going to play hardball with you on this one because I don't want the standard answer to this question, which is you're being kind of great in terms of reaching out to this market. Obviously, there are other destinations, perhaps some would say closer to home, that potentially offer something that some people might consider to be kind of on a par with what you get in terms of experience in Jamaica. How are you differentiating Jamaica from those other destinations?
I think Jamaica differentiates itself really from the perspective of Jamaica. We are similar to everybody else with blue turquoise water and white sanded beach. Everybody's got that. Nobody has the culture of Jamaica. Nobody has the people of Jamaica. And nobody has reggae music that is world-renowned, sought after. But more importantly, nobody have the personality of Jamaica. I was having a conversation earlier, and I said, I'm going to call you 3 names: Bob Marley, Usain Bolt, Shelley and Fraser Price. There's no other country in the world that can replicate those 3 names, where you can call them to anybody, anywhere in the world, in any language, and they're recognizable. That's the power of Jamaica. We outsize our name every time, every day, and our brand stand on its own. And so for us, our differentiation is about our people and our culture, is what makes us different from everybody else. It's what makes us appealing to everybody else. And so we can't do this business. Minister has a saying, he loves to say, that tourism is a series of moving parts. And our job is to get all those moving parts to move in one direction. And we've been, knock wood, we've been extremely successful in some regards, but largely lucky in a lot of regards, to be able to always bring those together in a seamless way to ensure that when we speak to the market, we speak in a way people understand, that people fall in love with, and then they want to visit Jamaica. When they visit Jamaica, they fall in love, and they stay in love. 42% keep coming back.
Donovan, you've been non-stop busy, and you've given me an incredible amount of wisdom and insight here in this interview. Thank you. I wish you all the best for the rest of the show.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much. And of course, I keep saying this, but we've been the best tourist board recipient of the World Travel Awards for the last 16 years, and we're looking forward to number 17.
Well, I can see why. Thank you.
Thank you.